a certain a certain discussion about Nietzsche's concept of the will to power as an order, because I think it's one of those, really generally misunderstood concepts, especially by people who just sort of hear about it. I mean, I think you hear the phrase will to power, you hear Nietzsche, and you think, it's all about domination, and it's all about sort of power in the most sort of imperial, political, governmental, sort of banal sense, when it has absolutely nothing to do with what Nietzsche means by will to power. For Nietzsche, the will to power is a metaphysics, right? It's a concept that sort of grounds his worldview, or ungrounds his worldview, as the case may be, but sort of situates his worldview. And in some sense, it's very, very simple. In some sense, it's very, very complicated. But here it goes. The will to power stipulates that a thing goes as it goes. Everything something does is its will to power, right? Think about how, let's say different plants, right? Plants have a will to power. Think about how different plants make sense of this world and distribute themselves in the world. Think about eucalyptus, right? Eucalyptus sort of, I don't know the specifics, but sheds some kind of poison that sort of disallows, prohibits anything else from growing within its vicinity. And that's how it operates. That's how it's going to make itself in the world, right? It's a little hegemonic. It's a little aggressive, but that is its will to power. Now picture something like the epiphyte. Oh, I love the epiphyte, right? Which finds its home perched on the top of the sort of canopy of a rainforest, super opportunistic, sort of lives with trees, right? And finds its home and roots within the trees, within the rainforest. Now picture grass. Now picture the tulip. Now picture, pachysandra, different kinds of ivies. Think of all the different ways, all the very complicated ways they distribute themselves through the world, how they operate with other things, the sort of ecosystems that they forge and can participate in. Now think about that with people, right? Think about the person who's, constantly sort of withdrawing from a scene, turning away, the person who's sick, and sort of bereaved or ill-disposed for this world. That, Nietzsche would say, is that person's will to power. You picture the person who has this incredible will to dominate, this, the sort of people who want to be presidents or CEOs, that too is their will to power, right? What the sort of radical implication of the will to power is that you are as you go, which means your being is your becoming, right? You are this stipulated sort of trajectory, right? Quite literally a differential equation, a sort of infinite becoming that sort of will make its way in the world, again, forging networks and ecosystems more or less aggressively, more or less quickly, more or less sort of profoundly or intensely. That is the will to power.